I'm Jordan Belfort, and this is Sales School. So, did you know you could use a single solution to get a consolidated cash flow report from different sources? Cinder can synchronize all the necessary payment details like inventory items, taxes, discounts, locations, and including multiple currency transactions. Just connect your payment providers and enjoy automated synchronization and bank reconciliation in one simple click. With Cinder, you get also access to detailed sales information for your financial reports to have a daily overview of your business results. Start a free trial right now and get a 20% discount on an annual subscription. Head over to Cinder.com, which is spelled SYNDER.com. That's Cinder.com for your free trial right now.
Great topic for today to start our week, right? I want to talk about something that came up in a podcast. It was three people on the other panel, right, interviewing me. And one was a really famous young kid. The other two were just sort of support people. And one of the support people brought up this point about how, about the idea about acting as if. Act as if you're a wealthy man, rich already, you'll become rich. Act as if you have the answers, and the answers will come to you. Act as if you have confidence, people will become confident. You act as if, right? And I always tell the story about how when I was a kid, I was watching TV and saw David Copperfield make the Statue of Liberty disappear, right? I was flipped out. I said, I want to be a magician, right? And the first thing I did was I went out and I essentially put an ad in the local penny saver, it was called. That was the local circulation back then, right? And I put in children's parties, the amazing Belfort, $25, right? Children's magic shows, right? Didn't think anyone would call. And the phone starts ringing off the hook. Well, guess what? I didn't even know how to do magic. And I started to panic, right? I went to my father and he took me into this. He said, Dad, that ain't a mistake, right? And he took me into the city, bought me some tricks. I have great memories of that, going to this shop called Louis Tannen, right? But the point is that I actually was running a really powerful strategy called acting as if. Now, I want you to understand that's not quite the right way to run that strategy. You don't want to advertise for a product that you know nothing about and say you're an expert. But the flip side of the equation is that what a lot of you do, and it's not just starting a business, it's just executing on anything, is you wait until you're an expert to execute, until you're really competent. And listen, you can't become an expert without going out into the real world and doing something. There is no perfect plan. There is no way of mastering a technique or an art without going down and tripping and falling a few times and looking clunky. You understand? So this kid had actually started advertising himself as a social media guru without knowing the first thing about it, and got a hit from a very big company, right? And he went in and he faked it till he made it. And what he did do, though, and why it didn't turn into a disaster, is that he then quickly closed the knowledge gap. He began studying like mad, hooking himself with the right people, and became one of the top people in social media marketing. You get it? Now, the idea is that what makes this work and what doesn't make it work is the fact that you must close the knowledge gap, or not. If you don't, you can't go out there putting yourself out. I'm an expert, I'm the top guy at this, and then once you start getting traction, you're not studying and learning like mad and growing yourself like mad, so you actually become a real expert. You can't fake it till you make it for very long. It's a very short period of time. You should have at least some knowledge under your belt. You don't want to go as a stone cold novice with knowing nothing about what you're doing. That's dangerous, unless you're a really good talker, and it's just not necessary. You can get yourself up to speed enough, become a sort of a dabbler and a dilettante, where you know a little bit to talk about it, and then quickly become an expert. What you don't want to do, though, is sit there and just wait, keep educating yourself, growing yourself, and never take action because you don't feel like you have enough of success under your belt, enough experience under your belt to feel comfortable branding yourself as an expert. All right? The only way to become an expert is on the job. And by the way, and the truth is, and I think that you probably know that. So if you're guilty of this stuff, and by the way, there's degrees, right? There's some people who are just, oh, they're terrible, and they never move off the mark. And there are others, probably many more of you, who only have a guilty a little bit. Like, you probably should take action a bit more robustly, a bit earlier. You eventually do get off the mark, but you delay everything in your life. You delay the manifestation of the things that you want because you're always slightly behind in your action taking. All right, I want you to really take a close look at that this week, really, and start fucking putting yourself out there, branding yourself, position yourself as an expert. Don't settle for anything less. It's the way you carry. Remember, this is all on an unconscious level. When someone thinks you're an expert, perceives you that way, you're matching a pattern that they have about what experts look like, what experts sound like, how they act, how they carry themselves, the words they say, right? But in the beginning, it's not so much about the words, although obviously there are some industry buzzwords you want to learn. That's why I said you got to learn a little bit. But the point is, it's mostly the unconscious communication that carries the day. You don't have to wait to become a true expert to put yourself out there as an expert. As long as you know enough, and because there's no way to become an expert without putting yourself out there. There's no other way. So there's two paths in life. There's the path of like the slow slog, burn a 10 fucking watt light bulb your whole life and never really go out there and just put yourself out there. And by the way, make the consequences of failure so dire and unthinkable that you won't let it happen. Like, put yourself out there. Like, you say, God, if I fail, I'll be so fucking embarrassed. It will be a disaster. Don't let you get it. Once you do that, it's almost like your brain won't let you fail. You'll do the work. You'll study. You'll hook up with the right people. You'll close that knowledge gap. And once you do, once you get to the habits, everything starts to accelerate in your life. I'm talking about sales, entrepreneurship, becoming a top producer, getting referrals, everything. Everything starts to accelerate. So apply this technique in all aspects of your life starting now. And I'm sure, again, very few of you are on that really, really slow slog. You probably wouldn't be here if you were on that slow slog where you never take action, because you took action to sign up for this program, right? But you're probably somewhere like, in the middle, maybe 60, 70%. You're not quite where you're really putting yourself out there. You just freaking, you acted as if at the highest level and working your ass off to close the knowledge up, and you live an incredible life as a result. Love you all. We'll talk in the morning.